Welcome to the Rustic Garden Homestead. Today's video is all about planting peas and carrots. If you want to subscribe, follow me. I'll be doing a whole series on fall gardening. I'll show you how to plant, tend, and harvest a fall garden. August is a great time to get your cool weather crops into the ground. The longer August days, the warm soil, things germinate really quickly, the plants get off to a great start, and then the cool temperatures of September roll in and the cool weather crops do their thing. Today we're going to start with peas and then I'll talk about carrots. There's a couple of tips you need to know about growing peas. Mainly the pea plant itself and all your cool weather crops can take a frost. The leaves can actually freeze and they're going to be okay. However, the pea flower and the pea pod doesn't like to freeze, so you really have to get the timing down. Let's talk about planting peas and a couple of tips to make sure your fall garden gets off to a great start. I'm going to show you how to plant peas two ways, in a raised bed and also in a container. Now, being middle of August, the soil's really warm, so your peas are going to germinate quickly. Any of the cool weather crops that you plant now are going to germinate quickly. Just remember, the summer sun is still around, so when it's, a bright sunny day hitting the soil surface can get well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's about 37.8 degrees Celsius. It can get really hot. So maybe you want to put some shade cloth over the planting area for the cool crop. Sometimes they don't like the heat a whole lot. When we're talking about peas and carrots today, they tend to do okay, but some shade cloth or some shade being cast over here from different plants will help them germinate and grow a little bit better. Key to success for fall planting in August, water these plants just about every other day until they're established. That hot sun, remember, can bake the soil, top 2 inches, 4 inches, 5, 10 centimeters, and just dry it out real quickly, and that can kill off your germinating seeds. To prep the soil, most of the time your soil is pretty okay because you've been taking care of it in the fall and the spring. You put stuff in there for the summer crops. There's usually enough nutrients in there. However, if you want to add more in, compost is always golden. In a space like this, I would put down about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, 1.25 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters worth of compost. This is about half as much as I would use if I was just using compost. Or if you don't have compost, you can go ahead and use any organic granular fertilizer that has N, P, and K represented. This is all I really do, is I scatter it through pretty heavily handed. Peas also can fix their own nitrogen, so they get enough nitrogen to grow, and there's probably enough nutrients in here. Now, I did both. That's why I didn't put in as much compost as I would. If I was just using compost, 1/2 inch to 1 inch across the top, mix it into the top 4 inches. If I was just using the organic granular, it would look something like that, and then mix it into the top 4 inches, 10 centimeters of earth. That will set everything up. Let me do that, and then we'll get to planting the peas. Loosen the soil to that 4 inch, 10 centimeter depth. Everything looks great. And again, compost or the organic granular, you don't have to use both. It's really up to you. I guess you could use both if you want to. You just don't need to overdo it. The strength of fall planting is really going to come from water-soluble fertilizer. Again, there's plenty of nutrients in there already. Once these are planted, I'm going to water it in with the water-soluble. That means that the N, P, and K is immediately available to the sprouting plants. Again, peas don't need that as much as the other crops because they fix their own nitrogen. They pull nitrogen in through the root system. But I'm going to use AgroThrive. I highly recommend them. That's an organic water-soluble fertilizer. Check out the video description. I am affiliated with them. 2 ways to plant them. Put the peas about every inch, inch and a half, 2.5, 3.5 centimeters, all the way down. We're going to trellis them up the cattle panel. Peas have hollow stems. They need to be trellised. I've done this a variation of ways, in a straight line, but to keep it simple, inch, inch and a half, and then you're just going to press them down to about 1/2 inch deep. Where there were like smaller seeds that maybe didn't look the most viable, I did drop in 2. And you would just go ahead and push all those down about 1/2 inch deep to 1 inch deep, 1.25 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters. The other way that I like to do the planting in earth beds, and these are onions. You see a lot of the roots. I just pulled them out and tossed them over there to dry a little bit. The other way to do it is to use a tomato cage, and you can grow, straight up the cage. That will provide them enough support so that the hollow stems don't snap. I like to put down 9 peas And I've used to, you know, put them in a circle. I just found 9 works really well. 1/2 inch deep, 1.25 centimeters. We'll water it in. I'll do another cage right here, another cage right there. They are really, you know, packed together, but they're going to be fine. As I mentioned earlier, talking about the warmth, with the cattle panel, it's really hard to put shade cloth over it. You can do that. I'm in Maryland Zone 7. If you're in a hotter area, you're starting a little bit more early. Maybe you want to use this method because you can just drape, you know, some shade cloth or some cloth across the top, keep the ground cooler. That's not a must. It's just, you know, something to keep in mind. When you're planting in August, maybe you're starting a little bit too early. Maybe you end up starting a little bit too late. The best way to do it is to really experiment and plant at different times, you know, through August here in Maryland, if you're in the hotter area, through August and September, and just take notes and see which ones, see which planting time does the best for your area. That's really the only way to learn. There's no exact date that you have to get this done. Talking about peas real quick, your cool weather crops can take a frost. So what is a frost? A light frost is when just the leaves freeze. A medium frost is when the leaves freeze and maybe just a little bit of the earth freezes over. A heavy frost or freeze is when the ground freezes about 1/2 inch to 1 inch deep, 1.25 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters deep. When the ground freezes, very often it kills where the green stem comes up and the roots meet right at the soil level. And that's the end for a lot of your cool weather crops. So why is that important? Peas take about 65 to 70 days to grow and mature. Planting into the August soil, they're going to grow quicker and they're going to be ready a little bit sooner, so you have time. But you want to find the, you know, the general last frost date, or the first frost date for your area in the fall. For Maryland, it's the end of October, beginning in November. It's a light frost, so the leaves can take a little bit of a frost. The pea pods and flowers aren't really bothered by a light frost. However, if a heavier frost rolls in and the flower freezes or the pod freezes, they get rubbery and they, you know, it kind of just ruins the taste. So you need a good 65 days for your peas to mature, and then you want to add in about 2 weeks or a little bit more so that you can get the harvest. That's going to work for me here, you know, middle of August. You know, technically these should have went in earlier, August 1st, but I've been a little bit busy. I'm going to have enough time for them. So peas, and that's why I started this series, Fall Gardening with Peas. You just want to get them in earlier than you think, because the pods and the flowers can't take a medium frost, heavy frost. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Once these are in the ground, I'm going to water them in with the water-soluble fertilizer, just a quick pour. They're good to go. Maybe after they grow halfway, I'll water them again with the water-soluble fertilizer. But this is the basic setup. So I really encourage you to get the peas in now. And if you're not sure, don't plant all the peas, just plant some. And then 2 weeks later, maybe you plant some more, and you can kind of test out when's the best time to plant peas in your garden. All right, let me finish this up and then we'll move over to the carrots. All the peas are in. Now, of course, I should have put the cages on after, but just a quick drink of the water-soluble fertilizer. Just wanted to show you about how much I'm putting on there. Just enough to really soak the peas in the ground around them. And you want to water about every other day if you're going to really have hot days. You know, if your temperatures are a little bit cooler, you could go, you know, every 2 days or something like that. But you don't want these to dry out when they're germinating. It's just going to kill them off. And that summer sun really dries the ground quickly. It would have been so much easier to put these cages in afterwards. But you get the idea. So these are set up, good to go. And again, I want to stress the watering, because that's one of the things people mess up with the most when it comes to the fall crops. They just don't water enough through that hot period for 4 or 6 weeks while the fall is still rolling in and the temperatures are cooling down. There are basically 3 types of peas. You have the flat pods, they're called snow peas. Edible pods, sugar snaps. And then peas that you shell, they're called shelling peas. You can't eat the pods. Shelling peas take longer than the snow peas and the sugar snap peas. So if you're kind of crunched for time, You want to start with, I think, the snow peas, the flat pods, or the edible pods, the sugar snaps. They will just produce a little bit sooner, and this way you're not worried about the frost or the heavier freeze coming in and damaging the crops. Shelling peas are my favorite. I kind of missed the boat on them this year here in Maryland, so I'm just going with sugar snaps. That's what I'm planting right now. I almost forgot the containers. So these are 10-gallon fabric pots. I sell these at my seed and garden shop. 10-gallon containers, perfect for your peas. You want to put in some compost, and you do want to put in a handful of the organic granular. The reason for that is that your container gardens really differ from your raised beds or your earth beds where the roots don't get into the earth. The nutrients, the fertilizers, are really sucked out of these really quickly. You have to feed them more. You have to also feed them more with a water-soluble fertilizer. The plants just take the nutrients out so quickly because of the big root systems and large plants that the soil just can't hold the nutrients. So you're feeding them more often with the water-soluble fertilizer. For peas, you don't have to worry about it as much because they do, again, fix nitrogen from the air through the root system. But I'd like to set them up with compost, the organic granular, mix it in to halfway if you can, really get the nutrients in there. And then just like we did with the other peas, you're gonna water it in with a water-soluble fertilizer, and then really about every, 21 days, once a month, just hit it with the water-soluble. Just make sure your plants have the nutrients or they're just not gonna thrive and grow. The compost and organic granular was mixed through. Same pattern, 9 seeds into this 10-gallon container, 1/2 inch deep. Let's just do all this. This is how quickly you can plant them. Let's get the 9 seeds in about 1/2 inch deep. I think 10 gallons translates to like 37 liters. Don't hold me to it. You would just maybe look it up. But 10 gallons, 9 pea seeds work really well. There's an extra one. Cover them over. Soak them in well. You'd have to get more, but you want to soak in the first container, something like that. That's with the water-soluble fertilizer. That one's going to need more. And then drop in the cage. 1. I like these stronger cages. They're a little bit thicker here, the one that I'm putting in now. And that's just a great way to plant peas in a container. This is what's left of my second planting for the summer for my carrots. You can plant carrots actually throughout the summer, and again, they make a great fall crop. Soil setup's going to be just like the peas, so I'm not going to redo that, save you some time. So second, you got to rock these out. So the second planting of carrots, and these are the Danvers half longs. These are shorter carrots, and these are in a bed where my soil is pretty much clay. I like growing these because I can loosen the soil depth to 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters, 4 inches, 6 inches, and I get really nice carrots out of it. Let's see. Yeah, they're beautiful. So you can select the carrot size based on what kind of soil you have. We're gonna go plant into a raised bed that's much looser. We'll get longer carrots out of there, just like you saw in the beginning of the carrot section of this video. These are half longs, 4 to 6 inches, perfect for clay soil. Again, we're gonna prep the soil the same way that I did the peas. Once you have the soil mixed in, or you have the amendments mixed through your soil, you wanna kind of press it down a little bit too. These are my raised bed. This is very loose soil. I like to press it down a little bit so it's a little bit firmer for when I drop the seeds in, and this way when I'm watering, you're gonna see how heavy the spray is sometimes. I'm not washing the seeds down deeper than I want them to be. I like to do 2 rows of peas, 1 inch apart all the way down, about a 1/4 inch depression, 0.75 centimeters. Then I do, maybe 3 inches in between, then the next row, 3 inches between, and then I would just go ahead and every inch put in a depression. I'm not gonna plant the peas here, the carrots here. I have them in other parts of my garden already. They grow really well. Now a lot of people ask me, should I let my carrots overwinter? They're gonna be sweeter, they're gonna be better in the spring. So here's the thing with carrots. Carrots are biennials. If you're planting them now in August, September, they're gonna grow, and even though they may have a short, tiny carrot, not fully developed, come next year, they're gonna think they're a second-year-old carrot. and they're going to flower and produce seed. So the carrot itself isn't going to get that much bigger. If you're going to plant carrots to overwinter and then grow and develop come spring, you really want to plant them closer to the heavy freeze. So they just get sprouted, they get started, they don't develop a whole lot. They go dormant, and then come spring, they still think they're a first-year plant. Again, I know this is a little bit confusing. Carrots are biennials. So if you start them too early now, overwinter them, they're going to grow beautiful greenery, but they're really not going to develop a great tasting carrot because they're going to try and produce flowers. So come August, September, that's perfect for planting carrots to harvest before winter comes. If you want to overwinter your carrots here in Maryland Zone 7, I recommend doing that more towards the end of November, even the beginning of December, if you want to give that a try. But just real quick again, I do 2 rows, 1 inch, 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters, about 3 inches in between, 7.5 centimeters, and I do my rows that way. Cover them over, and then I just water them in. Well, gardener's prerogative. I decided to plant in this space. You want to drop in 2 or 3 seeds per hole and then thin them down to 1. Sometimes carrots don't germinate that well. If you leave in 3 seeds, it's kind of cool. The carrots sometimes twist around each other and you pull them out and it looks like they're hugging each other, or you get really cool shapes, look like animals. So that is something fun to do. Gonna be doing that over here. I spaced them out a little bit more. Kids always like pulling out carrots that are twisted together. So you have 2 or 3 seeds in there. When they get to about this tall, you're gonna thin down to 1 plant. Go ahead, cover them over. Now, I'm gonna water them in, or I'm gonna show you with a different group of carrots how I water them in. You don't have to feed your seeds right away. They actually live off the seed coat. So they get some energy. So you don't have to hit them with the water-soluble necessarily at first watering. You can just soak them in. When they're growing a little bit, get to about this size, 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters, then hit them with the water-soluble fertilizer. But this is my next carrot patch going in the middle of August. They should do well. The green can take a frost. The carrot itself can take a frost. They don't necessarily do well with the hard freeze. They stop growing. So that means you can get your carrots in now. They can handle moderate frost, even, you know, a heavier freeze for a day or something like that. And they're going to continue to grow. So I'll be looking to harvest these. And again, please subscribe and follow me. Probably harvest these somewhere around mid-November to late November. And I should have beautiful carrots that look just like that. And then just a quick watering. You want to keep these watered just about every other day when you're starting. The soil, because of the summer sun, can dry out that top 2 inches, 5 centimeters really quickly, even deeper than that. And it can kill germinating seeds. It just gets too hot. Their roots aren't big enough. There's not enough moisture. They die off. So every other day, really, I think for a good 14 days until they, until you see germination. Once they germinate, you can do every 2 days or something like that. But just keep in mind, the sun baking your germinated seeds for your fall garden can really dry that area out quickly. So stay up on the watering a little more than you think. Another quick tip is you really don't want to mulch seeds that haven't germinated yet. Clear the mulch away, let the new seeds germinate, get growing. If you want to start bringing in mulch, like, dropping down some grass clippings or something to help keep moisture in the soil, you can do that when the plants start getting a little bit taller. But mulching can inhibit germination. It can damage germinated seeds. So just, tread lightly with the mulch until the plants are a little bit bigger. In the way of watering, every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days, it really just depends on how much rain you're getting, your temperatures and stuff like that. When in doubt, water a little bit more than you think. It's really hard to overwater a garden. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com. I sell tomato and pepper seeds, $1.75 a pack. All other seeds are only $1.50. And please subscribe. Follow me for the rest of the year. I'm going to show you how to plant and grow a fall garden. Thanks so much for watching.